have to do it after we record. Hold on. Here we go. As if I've never done this. I feel like I've done this enough times. I should really have this down by now. All right. All right, here we go. We're live in Denver at HFMA with my new good friend, Jon. Jon, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Ben. Excited to be here.
We happened to just get this chance to play golf yesterday.
Yes.
And
a beautiful course.
A beautiful course. I'd like to say I loved and hated it.
Yeah.
How would you reference it? Because I'd be curious what you say. We just had Philip on.
Oh, okay.
He said the same thing I did. He had never played on a course with faster greens.
Yep.
And I don't think I have.
I think I'm in the same boat. I was, so I'd characterize it. I love the course, beautiful. Some of the vistas were just gorgeous, but the greens were some of the hardest I've ever putted on. We got really, I mean, obviously all of us and our foursome got pretty frustrated from, from the get-go with the greens.
Oh
so.
my gosh, it was unbelievable. Yeah, it was Castle Pine, so it's overlooking this, I mean, kind of like valley, I guess, would say.
Yeah.
It's a valley, and then you get into the valley, and then at times, but you look into the mountains. I mean, it's incredible.
Elevated tee boxes, just the vistas are beautiful. Rocky Mountains in the background. Couldn't.
I never played in Colorado. It was fun. So we had a blast yesterday. I think it was a lot of fun. Jon and I did pull out a win at the end.
The winning tee.
So, I mean, that was important.
That was fun.
And we both contributed. I felt like we contributed pretty well.
I think so too. Yeah, and we had a great comeback. Right, we started 3 down and ended up 3 up. What a great back
Holy
night.
cow, we came through. It was amazing. So, Jon, tell us a little bit about yourself. When did you get into rev cycle?
19, let's just say mid 1990s. I got into revenue cycle. Out of college, I never, again, who goes to college to want to become a revenue cycle guy? But I started out of college as a stockbroker, and
What?
that was watching Wall Street growing up. Gordon Gekko. I'm like, I want to be a stockbroker, and
Yes.
so I went to UW-Madison, got my finance, investment, and banking degree, and started working as a stockbroker. And
Wait, where? In like Chicago? Like
in
New York?
Milwaukee. In Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, okay.
Yep. So I started in Milwaukee, and we had a great time. One of the most fun experiences I've had in my professional career.
Uh-huh.
But the industry was changing. The online trading was becoming more robust. People didn't need their stockbroker calling them up and telling them to buy this or sell this or anything. I mean, it was old school, but it was fun. And
my friend Doug, just a side note, my friend Doug worked at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Like the actual floor.
On the trading floor?
Yes.
Oh.
Because he's like 6'11".
Oh, so he could get his hand up there.
So he was just so tall, and he's extrovert. He's like one of the best salesperson I ever worked with. And so he was like, but he goes, I could see the writing on the wall. Like this was not going to stay.
Yep.
And so he's like, I got to get out. That's when he got into sales, medical sales. Anyways, side note.
No, well, I wanted to get away from commission. I thought, like, you know what? I'm going to be probably starting a family in the near future here. I need to have some sort of a stable job. And the stockbroker job was not. You could just boom or bust, depending on the month.
Good times, it was killer. Bad times, bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a company called Zimmerman and Associates.
Oh my gosh.
You're probably familiar, right? Mike Zimmerman. So I worked for Dave Zimmerman at Zimmerman Associates. He hired me on.
Dude, I did not know that.
Yes, that's how I got my start in healthcare, healthcare revenue cycle. So
6 degrees of separation from the Zimmerman family.
Yeah.
I mean, right? They were involved in the early part of Accretive.
Yep.
Even though that went south.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were like in everything.
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't even know Bill Zimmerman. Do you know Bill?
Yeah, and I still do know Bill. Yeah. He's a great guy as well.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so I worked for
how
Dave
did you
Zimmerman.
get with them? How did you get with Dave? You were like,
there was I think at the time somebody I knew of Zimmerman.
I know they're big in Milwaukee.
Yeah, they were Milwaukee headquarters, Hales Corners, and so one of my friends knew of them and knew they were looking for talent to come and help with their healthcare revenue cycle work. So I'm like, oh, I'll try. It sounds like a great opportunity. Completely different than what I'm doing. And just so you know, I don't know revenue cycle or healthcare finance.
Right.
So I learned a lot on the road. I was paired up with senior consultants, and we'd go out to all these different organizations who were having trouble financially and wanted to focus on their business office to do some improvements. So That was really our focus. We'd go into hospitals. The first step was an operational review, and then we tried to sell the follow-up, which is where the real money was. And we'd come in and help them implement our recommendations, all that kind of stuff. So, so I did that for a few years, and it was great. I learned a ton. I went to a lot of different places. It's easy when you're young to do that and you don't have a family, because I left every Sunday, came back on Thursday. It was just, the billable hours had to be there, and I could not continue to sustain. Yeah, in the middle of the Packer game, drive to the airport, and then come fly home on Thursday night or Friday morning and do it all over again on Sunday. It just got to be a grind, and I think that's how consultants burn out from time to time. But also I wanted to, at the time, be able to. I had a girlfriend then. I wanted to be able to spend a little more time at home, and so Freighted had an opportunity, and that's when I went to start working for Freighted in patient financial services. And by that time, I could say I'm an expert in revenue cycle. I've helped hospitals all over the country improve their revenue cycles.
Right.
Anywhere from Seattle on the West Coast to Washington, D.C. on the East Coast, and everywhere in between. Some really good gigs I had when I'm staying at the nicest hotel in Seattle, and some others where I'm staying at the worst of the worst in Cleveland, Tennessee, north of Chattanooga. So, anyways, it was, but I learned a lot.
Wait, I got a question on travel. Have you ever gone to a hotel where you would not sleep, where you would not go anywhere under the covers? Like, you only slept on the top of the bed.
Cleveland, Tennessee.
Have you ever done that before? I've done that once.
Yep.
Once.
That one time, and next time we went back there, we stayed at a different hotel. That's the last time I ever.
I was convinced there were bed bugs. I was like, there's no way there's not bed bugs in this place. And guess where it was? Washington, D.C.
Oh, okay. And there's a lot of nice hotels in Washington,
right, but it was something like something was happening, and it was like sold out. So I could only get this one place, and it was like, yes, and it was so expensive too. But it was like, it wasn't my bill, but I was like, okay, I guess. Dude, the sketchiest place I've ever stayed in my whole life. I've never seen anything sketchy. It was like, I don't even want to touch the floor with my feet, right? Like, I'll just sleep in my shoes. Right. And on the top of the bed, I could not do it. That was the best I could do.
Well, at least you had other options.
Yeah, I guess.
For the next time. And I think in Cleveland, Tennessee, there's 2 hotels maybe. And so we had to go to the other one.
That's it. But... You're like, I'm going to the other one now.
Yeah. The other choice. But yeah, so then I started at Freighted. I've been at Freighted 25 years now, starting in patient financial services, and then, to now work the entire revenue cycle. So it's been a nice run. I've seen Freighted grow immensely from a single hospital when I started, Freighted Hospital, to the health system it is today.
25 years.
Yeah, for one employer.
Would you ever have thought you'd be working somewhere 25 years?
5 years seemed a lot at the time.
Oh my gosh, especially coming out of consulting.
Yeah, I didn't think so. But, we had a family. We started a family shortly after I started there. Got married, started a family. Kids are in school. I definitely didn't want to be traveling then.
Oh, you didn't want to be moving, and then you're going to travel.
Yeah, in Milwaukee, there's not a lot of opportunities in Milwaukee for revenue cycle guys. We have a couple of health systems, but, they're, headquartered elsewhere also. So it just seemed like a good fit, and Freighted's been really good. Great leadership there. We've got a great team, and that helps to keep me going every day. The people that you work with, and a growing organization. It's never been any other way. So
yeah. Is Freighted like an academic? Is there something unique about them? Was it a clinic?
Freighted's an academic medical center partnered with the Medical College of Wisconsin. So that's
the
driving force of our health system and the economic engine of our health system. Then we have several community hospitals, 18 hospitals total now, but really the majority of the activity flows through Freighted Hospital.
I forgot the Medical College of Wisconsin was there. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like a big teaching hospital.
Yeah, big teaching hospital, cancer center, transplant. It's the
whole thing.
Yep. And we got folks that come in from all over the country to be treated there.
Sure. Wow. So, what do you think like the biggest changes have been over the last 25 years for you? Like, I asked Philip, like, go back and like, what would he tell his younger self? But I'm curious for you, like 25 years of the same organization, like, I don't know, what are the biggest things you've seen kind of like, oh, I wouldn't have seen that coming.
Yeah, well, like the electronic medical record. When I started, everything was on paper, for one thing. Green bar reports in patient financial services, the paper medical records, all that kind of stuff.
What system were you on, like Medipack or MS4 or something?
Yeah, Quadramed's Affinity was...
Affinity?
Yeah, it was a Quadramed product.
I don't remember that.
Yep, so we were that, and then after that we moved on to Epic, but... Yeah, completely different. I remember when we first got onto Epic and put the revenue cycle modules in place. I remember thinking it's never been easier to run the revenue cycle than when I've got dashboards that I can drill into, all that kind of stuff. Because going back to the days of Affinity, and then some of the community hospitals we acquired had HBOC, Cerner.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just it was DOS based, and now I've got these beautiful dashboards in Epic, and I can see everything. And
HBOC, and we had like MS4 was the one that I was like, what is this? It's like I'm not sure what this even is. I can't believe people use this.
Yeah, geez, that seems.
But
like
then we had one person, I remember, like in this larger health system, because they had bought hospitals, you know. So this one person knew, it was like the programmer within MS4. And I became her like best friend because I was like, she's the only one who can do anything in this system. I mean, this is crazy. No one else knew how to do anything in it. It was wild stuff. Wild.
Yeah, but yeah, big changes. Since,
when did you implement when did you implement Epic though?
2002 is when we.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, we were an early Epic client, and
Holy crap.
And again, I think Epic started close to home. You know, with implementing.
That's true. Yeah, you're Madison.
We're an hour down the road from Epic, so. We started early and have continued to implement modules. Seems like we're always implementing something.
You had to be.
Yep. It's just there's the next module, and Phoenix for transplant, and you name it. There's all these different modules. So.
Wow. So what's been your kind of like biggest struggle these last year or so? Like what is it you're working on that you're like, man, this is hard?
Yeah, I think it's denials and the payer issues, right? I mean, everybody's struggling with denials, with payer accountability, those types of things. So we're probably not a lot different than others, but it seems like it's just. I thought one thing that hasn't changed when I first got into healthcare revenue cycle, it was hard to get paid, and that hasn't changed. It's still hard to get paid for the services that we provide.
Right.
And they just, when you figure something out, they'll figure out another way to
You're like,
deny
I thought
your
this
claims.
would get easier.
Yeah,
this is like still hard.
They keep getting worse. So we've been working a lot on that. I think some of the things we're focused on, is better analytics around, denials. How can we create more robust payer scorecards to help with some of these payer accountability discussions that we're having? Tracking the denials, working, just getting teams working on this kind of stuff is important. And staying on top of it, right? It seems like, everybody's talking about it's the battle of the bots. We need to get, our AI to combat their AI and all that kind of stuff. But I think just in general, there's a lack of accountability sometimes from payers. So we need to better articulate our case to the payers. Like, here's why you're so bad compared to how you're performing at other hospitals in our area or in our state, or here's why you're so bad compared to other payers, that have a similar book of business to yours. So I think we can do better at that. And
I mean, you guys have you must have a large market share in Milwaukee, right?
Yeah, we do.
So do you feel like you have, if there's not many providers, don't you have some? Do you feel like you have a leg up in contract negotiations with your payers, or is it like we still feel like we don't have?
No, I feel like.
And do you own managed care or no?
I don't own managed care, no. But I do think we have a good position that we're negotiating from in the Milwaukee market. But in terms of rates and things like that, it's really hard to get those administrative provisions into the managed care contracts related to specific denial criteria and things like that, or just administrative burden type clauses. So there's some of that in there. I mean, we do have some of that. We've always got the ability to go to arbitration if we need to, but in general, it's just, I feel like we're spending more and more resources combating denials. I've seen our aging, our aging has continued to trend upwards, since the pandemic, but not more than it has for other organizations. We benchmark, and, it's been a trend for everyone.
Yeah.
Are you looking for a judgment-free revenue cycle space? Do you want to expand your revenue management skills and learn insider strategies? Check out RevCycle 101. Unlock the foundations of healthcare finance with RevCycle 101, a comprehensive course designed to give anyone, from a recent graduate taking their first professional steps to a seasoned sales leader refining their expertise, the clarity and confidence to excel in revenue cycle management. Through easy-to-understand terminology, practical tools, and proven methods, this course demystifies the complexities of the revenue cycle. It equips you with the skills to drive results, optimize operational efficiency, and significantly advance your career in the shifting realities of today's healthcare industry. Click the link in the description for more information. Now back to the show.
Yeah, I had Travis and Sean from Hive Health on the podcast earlier today, and they were talking about their, just what they're seeing. Just fascinating stuff.
It is. Some of the things that the payers are doing, you can't make this stuff up. So,
yes, they were talking. We got very technical, which is probably not my bag anymore, as I've been on the ops for a while, as you know. But one of the things that I'm still like reeling from a little bit was they said the latest thing they're seeing is that the code that they're submitting the claim on to get paid on this code, especially like an ED, they're changing the code on the payment.
Yep.
The remit's coming back with a different code, and they're not giving a CARC or RARC, so they're not doing either to tell you they got downgraded.
Yep.
They're just sending a different payment with a different code. I'm like, I never even heard of such a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they legally should not be able to do that, right?
Yeah.
Changing the code of like what it was.
Yeah. They're downgrading us. Yeah, we have that same problem. It's so anyways, just one of many battles we're fighting on the denial front. So that keeps us busy throughout the revenue cycle, of course.
Yeah. What do you see going forward for you guys? Like, I don't know, what's the future look like in rev cycle 5 years from now?
I think it looks good for Freighter, and I'm excited about our organization, where we're headed. I think the integration work that's yet to come. About 18 months ago, we merged within their health system, ThedaCare, in
That's right.
the Appleton, Neenah area. So for us looking forward, there's a lot more integration work to come. We're just sort of getting started on that path. So part of that will involve coming onto a common instance of Epic. So that'll be a big effort. Then having gone through Epic implementations in the past, that's sort of, when you're ready to do an Epic implementation, drop everything and work on your Epic implementation. There's not time for other side projects or anything else. It's from an operational and IT resource standpoint, that's kind of all in. So that'll be a big thing. We're also doing an ERP standardization. That'll be less on revenue cycle and more on finance, supply chain, HR. But a lot of big changes coming from an integration standpoint, benefit platforms, all that kind of stuff. So I think that'll keep us busy for several years. But besides that, there's a lot of other things that we're working on too. We think we can be better, maybe better organized around some of our financial clearance functions. So sort of maybe moving more to a financial clearance type structure where we can bring together some of the disparate functions.
You don't have that right now. You don't have a clearance center kind of.
We don't have a clearance center. We've got different departments with doing different functions that would typically fall within a financial clearance center. So that's one thing that's high on our radar screen here to gain some synergies as we bring things together. Point of service collections is a big part of that. That's a big focus of ours, and we're honestly lagging. And when we benchmark ourselves against other organizations in point of service collections, especially on the hospital side. So how can we get to producing more estimates? How can we automate more estimates? Because when we collect from our patients, we want to be able to give an accurate estimate and say, hey, here's what you're going to owe. Why don't you take care of that now so you don't have to worry about it on your data service? All those types of things.
Yeah, for
a lot of folks just we'll start collecting deposits, things like that. We're taking the approach. If we can automate more of our estimate work, we can do a much better job at point of service collection. So that's one of the things that we'll focus on going forward as well in that space.
Right. Now, how quickly will you centralize a CBO, or it's all remote now? So I don't know. Like when you're merging like that, there's always the challenge of how quickly you don't want to interrupt operations too much, but you also want to start to standardize and.
Yeah, I think we're taking an approach where everything that we can do leading up to some sort of full-blown Epic integration, we kind of align things. So right now we've aligned our Epic upgrades. So when ThedaCare is upgrading to a version, Freighter's upgrading to the same version. Those instances.
But you're not on the same instance, though.
Not on the same instance today.
Is there a plan to do that? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yes. You just told me that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we
so the plan is there. It's it's executing all of this.
Get in
not
sync.
Doing too much at one time.
Get in sync. How can we standardize workflows in advance of that? How can we standardize our policies? All those types of things. So when the time does come to pull the trigger and have a model that's scalable from a revenue cycle standpoint, which we do now, I think we can rearrange a few things and make our model a little bit more scalable. So when we bring in the rest of the organization, it just kind of flows through the existing processes that we have in place. We've done that with some of our smaller hospital acquisitions, and it's worked great. So this will be much bigger, but that's kind of what we're looking towards.
Yeah. And do you guys have a lot of owned physicians?
We do, yeah. We partner. We also partner with a lot of physicians. So the medical colleges typically actually a separate organization than Freighter. So we've got a physician practice there that's not fully owned.
Right.
So that our brand is Freighter in the Medical College of Wisconsin, and most of our patients and everyone else thinks, oh, that's Freighter in the Medical College. Right? That's Freighter and the Medical College. They're two separate organizations. So that has some of its own unique challenges and benefits. Medical College is great. The physicians there, world-class care, all that kind of stuff. But when you kind of see the inner workings from a revenue cycle standpoint, it's challenging when you have different organizations reporting up to different leaders, those types of things.
Right. So you're not billing for them.
We do have a single business office for our the South region that we call it now. That instance of Epic is a single business office, and Medical College is on board in that single business office. So we do that work for them from a patient billing standpoint, not insurance billing, but patient billing.
Patient billing.
Yes.
But not insurance billing.
Not insurance billing.
So they have their own PFS shop. That's Medical College.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Okay.
a separate shop. At least our patients, though, this was a big win. At least our patients get one bill that says Freighter in the Medical College at the top, which is our brand, and it has both charges, hospital and physician charges.
Oh my gosh. How long did it take you to get that done?
A while, years. It took us years to get through that. So, but it's good now. It's really good now. It's a scalable model. We can bring others into it.
Wait, so how do you get payments? Payments come into you.
Yep.
And you distribute it later? They true up later with the MCW?
It comes into a consolidated lockbox, and then we've got reporting, and there's a funds flow that takes place daily to sweep the funds that are the medical colleges into their account.
Oh my gosh. That seems logistically challenging, but maybe I'm not.
Is anything not complex in revenue cycle these days?
I know, but that's super complex. I don't think people realize that actually is that would be a feat.
Yeah, and you try to explain that to the common patient or anybody else when there's some sort of payment posting error or something. If you only knew what went into this.
Well, to be honest, it's easier for us to just forgive it than collect on it.
Sometimes it is.
Oh my gosh. Wow. All right, so that's interesting. I don't know what else is interesting about Freighter. I didn't know any of this stuff.
Yeah, what else? I think we're doing a lot of good things. Freighter just won an award. I'll tout that a little bit. We just won you're probably familiar with Kodiak. Used to be Crow. Crow kind of spun off their revenue cycle benchmarking to Kodiak. We just won an award, top 10 revenue cycle in the country. So really excited about that.
Oh, look at that. All right.
Yeah.
Was there hardware involved, like a little trophy?
Yeah.
You guys get?
Yeah, we got 2 trophies. One for top 10 revenue cycle and one for excellence in AR management. So we get 2 trophies.
What does the second one mean? What does that mean?
Well, it's
a certain days number?
Certain KPIs. So it's all based on, the way they do it is based on KPIs. They've got a feed of data that comes from us. We're a RCA client, the revenue cycle analytics.
You're like,
And so it's all the raw data. They get it, and they, there's no applying for the award. It's just they base it all on the numbers, and it's not no self-reported data, and they kind of have a weighted bucket of KPIs that they award present the awards based on. So we're excited about that. So that's new and exciting because we just got that award last month. So excited about that. Excited about a few other things. We're starting a vendor management program. We work with a lot of vendors, so we don't have a formal vendor management program yet. So we're going through an implementation right now to kind of stand that up.
Surprised you're not at Healthviews.
Well, we will be. We are now.
Oh, so, I was like, in your back corner.
Right in our backyard, right in Milwaukee.
I can't believe you're just doing it. That's crazy.
Yep, just now. We've known those guys for years.
Oh my gosh, they're great guys.
Yeah, so we're going through that. So I think that'll help our operations team, not have to focus so much on the minutia of vendor management and be a great support.
Dude, it takes a lot. You gotta, it's just kind of the nature of it, right? It's complex.
It is, yeah. And there's a lot. We could never audit 100% of the accounts on the invoices. They've got the tools and the software to do that kind of thing. So we're
it's very difficult.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. And one of our big initiatives, it kind of goes back to the financial clearance topic, is we started looking at our out-of-network patient population. So we've got a lot of patients that come to Freighter who don't have an insurance plan that's in network with Freighter, and they continue to come to Freighter. Freighter provides great care, so everybody wants to come to Freighter, even if their insurance doesn't cover it. And we've not had the resources to be able to previously help redirect these patients, help them understand what their in-network options might be if they do want to come to Freighter, or help them understand what facilities might be in network if they want to have their care provided, and still maintain the insurance that they have right now. We've got a team that we're standing up right now. They're called Insurance Network Navigators, and they're going to work with all our out-of-network patients before every visit or before every scheduled admission to say, hey, you know what, if you actually went somewhere else, your out-of-pocket costs would be less, you're going to be in network, because here are the hospitals that are in network for you. Or, hey, if you really want to come to Freighter, open enrollment is coming up. Here are the marketplace plans that we're in network for. Those types of things.
Is it mostly like managed Medicare?
There's some managed Medicare, managed Medicaid, and the ACA plans. A lot of it's the ACA plans.
Okay. That's interesting. I hadn't heard anybody do anything like that.
I think, we started looking at the numbers, and there's a big opportunity there, I think, for putting some resources that I think could more than pay for themselves.
Yeah, right.
Ultimately, when we get these patients coming in, we don't get paid, or we don't get paid very much. And so even if we're creating capacity for patients who can pay, we're having in-network insurance, that's going to more than offset the FTEs that we need to do this work.
Totally.
So
Interesting. I like that approach. I don't think I've ever heard anyone doing like it.
Yeah, I don't think I have either. I think this is something kind of new.
Probably it's also probably the market specific, right? Like if you just had a lot of, sounds like you have like Medicaid managed care and
Medicare managed care and marketplace
and enough
plans.
Marketplace people.
Yeah, and we're not in network for most of the marketplace plans in our area.
Why is that? That seems odd.
Well, we own an insurance company, Network Health, and that they have their own, the exchange plan. So that's primarily where we direct our patients. So we're not going to be in network with all the other
how do you
plans.
get along with your own plan?
Pretty good. They've been very collaborative.
Not a lot of people say that.
We've still not gotten them to stop denying our claims. So if we can ever get there.
I don't understand that. Can't we just true up later?
Yeah. We're all part of the same organization here. How about we just, get rid of the denials and do an audit on the back end or something. But anyways, Network Health is great to work with. We have a great collaboration. So no complaints there. And I think it's helped us learn a lot from on the provider side. Here's how the payers think. Here's what the payers are working on. Here's sort of the payer perspective as we're going to contracting, things like that. It's nice to get their perspective on some of this stuff.
Right. Yeah, that's one of the things I've been kind of, I've been noodling on a fair amount. I was just like, this whole thing with insurance. And forever, people have been like, we have our plan, but we don't like them. We don't get along with them. I'm like, yep. I don't really understand this. This should be a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But I think it's two schools of thought and you're not connected.
Arm's length relationship, that whole thing.
Yeah, but I don't know. Well, I was talking to David yesterday and he owns that now. So.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He has the health plan.
Yep.
At Aspirus. So.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I think it's interesting.
But a good perspective. It's probably a good perspective for him to kind of see both sides of that.
No, he would definitely have a different perspective, right? So, wow. Well, John, thanks so much. This was great.
Yeah, good catching up.
Flew by, right?
And it does, yeah. Time flies when you're having fun. And
awesome.
I always have fun chatting with you. And and it's been a great event so far, a great conference. So looking forward to seeing what else is yet to come.
Good stuff. All right. Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Ben.